Hello, I'm FE Master Corey Russell. Corey Russell, and I played in the Portland Winter Open, which occurred December 5th and 6th. I did not win it. Last round, my opponent played flawlessly, according to Fritz. Um, I did, however, have a very interesting game. It's also my best game, probably. So let's take a look at this game. His name is Ted London. Let's see. I was black, so let's see it from my side. Okay, so white opens with pawn kings 4 or e4. I respond with the modern system. I don't recommend the modern for low-level players, as it's kind of easy to get rolled if you're not careful. Uh, However, I do like it though because it's highly imbalanced. So there are a lot of opportunities to play for a win, and when I'm playing lower-rated players, that's actually quite important. So both sides develop. No surprise here. Castle quickly. Um, so the reason for c6 is that if you play d5, I can play knight d5, and then my pawn protects the knight. Because otherwise, I'd have to retreat. Notice too, here would be terrible because then here he wins my knight. Okay, pancakes. He did not do e5. Possibly threatening b4 and then take a d-pawn, but he defended it, so it didn't matter. So the reason for this is if he goes here, and once again, if he takes my knight, now my a pawn, or excuse me, my b pawn is protected. White castles. Apparently, this is all theory because there's 8 games in the Fritz database. The idea of this move is possibly support c5, but also e5. Because e5 will be the key way to equalize, if I can get that in. You should do a4 here. Fritz says the position is equal, and it does feel equal to me. So this is threatening pawn take pawn and knight take pawn, but he defends. So complete development. So I want to do this now before he gets c4 in. In fact, I want c4 in myself, actually. He pushes past. And this gives me a little bit of space on the queen side, which could be helpful. Complete development. I wasn't 100% sure this is the move, but it seemed like stopping knight d4 was in my own interest. Possibly h4, depending on the situation. So for both of the reasons, I thought h5 was as good as anything else. This is played to stop him from trading for my bishop. I didn't really want his queen getting in on my king side, so by stopping the bishop trade, then his queen can't get in. All right, c7. He's stopping knight c5 basically because if I do it, double pawns, and that's okay. I don't mind. Now that he's left the control of b4, because on d2 he controlled b4. Now b4 is a possible way to get some counterplay for black. White continues to shuffle his pieces. So here is okay. I can't move the knight yet because of his bishop, and in fact, his bishop is his best piece. His bishop controls 9 squares. So then I said to myself, okay, my bishop controls 3. So if I trade my bishop, which only has 3 squares, for his bishop, which can go to 9 squares, then it kind of makes us more even. He thought for a long time after this last move. He does some more knight shuffling. So I'm like, sure. Gotta give you a second here. I have my Fritz analyzing the game. I was hoping for queen takes and I could trade queens, and I thought the endgame would be good for me, but he said no endgame. which is probably a smart decision. So here I thought, let's get out of the potential pin by the bishop on c2 in case he ever does f4. Also, this protects my knight and pawn, which could be helpful depending on what happens. Well, he does some more knight shuffling. He just loves his knights apparently. Okay. So I'm preparing b4. Also, I can block on b5 if I need to. When I do b4 and bishop a4, I can block on b5. And finally, Fritz says I have a clear advantage. So that was good. And rather incredibly, black is winning here. However, it's a 5-move combo. Fritz found it. He says pawn take pawn wins. Like, really? Pawn take pawn attacks rook. Okay, fine. And then this crazy move, attacking the queen. Check. Attacking the rook. And then, actually, this is more than 5 moves. Check. And this is winning for black. That a pawn is a screamer, and his pieces are in pretty much no position to stop that pawn. And so I did not see that during the game. I'm not Fritz. It would be nice if I could think like Fritz, but no. So I did not see that. I just simply blocked, which is my plan anyway. That was my plan. And then Fritz says that taking it with a queen leads to a clear advantage. Although later in his variation, he moves his queen back to c5, so maybe it wasn't that great a plan. But I could check with the rook. So of course I'm trying to open lines for my pieces. First find out g5, g4, and rook g8, and black has a clear advantage. So that would have been a better line. I thought this would work out, which in a sense it did work out since I won, but it does, Fritz does say that now he's equal. So I'm like, But I thought, okay, rook to the 7th, can that be bad? For several moves, white should do g4, but he doesn't. And this is a good move because even though his pawn is hanging, that would potentially give him the b file. So doubling my rooks just has more potential. So and Fritz agreed with me actually that taking the pawn was much worse. And now, according to Fritz, I have a slight advantage. Fritz gives me an excellent for this move, but honestly, I think it's a pretty obvious move. You can't take, of course, because the rook is pinned. And then Fritz can exclamation for that move too. Although, to me, it seems like a pretty. I mean, I kind of have to do this, right? I mean, what other choices I got? He's an excellent though. By the way, after knight take pawn, Fritz says I'm winning. However, I give it back to him, my advantage several times. It's a very wild game here. So we're both taking some pawns here. Again, he can't take his rook is pinned. I should have just taken his knight. Fritz says this is winning. Considering this threatens the mate. And is there any way to stop? Oh, well, he can't stop it. He has to trade queens. Which, no doubt, is not at all what he wants to do. Yeah, that would be winning. That c-pawn would win the game. So, uh, so I should have done that, actually. Instead, I made this way too complicated than it needed to be. So, you may say, hey, Corey, you're losing a knight. Well, not really, because if he takes, I'll go mate. So, have it was called an indirect defense. Check. Fritz gives an exclamation mark for the move. The point is, rook take doesn't work because queen take, rook take, rook take, whoops, rook take, and I'm up in exchange. Plus the powerful c-pawn. So he has to move his king. And unfortunately, I didn't see the right way to attack this. The correct plan is here, 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 and then white is almost helpless to do anything about c2, c3. And black could have a clear advantage here. I mean, almost only move is this, but then I got check, take, up a pawn, got massive pawns here. You can't even do this because of the fork. So it's just a great position for black. So that's what I should have done if I was Fritz. Oh, not Fritz though. I did this. That was a terrible move because it allowed this resource. And now suddenly the table turns and suddenly now black's under pressure. Matter of fact, according to Fritz, white is equal now. I thought the c-pawn was really important, so I should try to hold on to it if I could. That was a great move by white. Honestly, I did not know what to do. Amazingly, king b8 is a way to get the advantage. You may say, why would that be so good? Because of this. And basically, I'm throwing a rook and mate, which would be kind of huge. So that would be a very powerful threat. But I need to go to b8 to make all this happen. Because I need to get out of the checks, basically. And notice b7, I can get checked by the knight. So b8 is the only square to not get checked anywhere. So that was the correct move. I honestly was like, what's going on here? And now, white's playing well, and matter of fact, he has a clear advantage now, actually. So he's doing great. Check. That was fine. Check. Give my king to the battle. I don't mind that. He should have checked me, and he'd be up a pawn. But for reasons that are not clear, he just simply defended. And now, pushing my last passed pawn is going to give me equality. By the way, notice there's a nice trap here. If he goes for a knight, I'll let him take it. And the point is, you can't do this because knight take and then a queen. Yeah, and you can't go here either because of knight take. And you can't like check queen go to e5 because I got knight take. But there's no other way to cover this queen e4 and I'll queen, and there's no. Oh, wait a minute. Well, okay, wait a minute. There actually is this check. Oh no, you can't do it. Take. Oh, phew. Scary for a second. Okay, yeah, so that would have won. However, he does not go for that. To be fair, white is extremely low on time. And he plays here. And then I think you overlooked, he could go rook f2, but I think you overlooked I got knight g3 check, and then like knight h, like, okay, for example, let me show you. I think you overlooked this as check. And then everything's protected. So I think that's what he overlooked. And to be fair, he was very low in time. I think he was less than 2 minutes. So he's in a pretty bad time crunch. Unfortunately, after this final mistake by White, there's no way to really recover. In fact, Fritz says Black is clearly winning. By pushing the pawns, unfortunately, they're just too slow. Get my king in the battle. Ram that pawn down there. That's not going to help. And now, the problem, of course, if White moves up, I'll do this cover check and queen. So that would be bad. But if he does nothing, I'll do rook a1 check and then queen and win his rook, and then the rook and knight up. Plus, I still have the pass a pawn too. It's gonna be too much. Tries this. There are a number of ways to go. I figured this would be the quickest way to make him resign, and in fact, White does resign as I'm going to get his rook and queen, and it's just going to be massive material deficit. So White realized it's time to give it up, and he resigned, and that was it. That was my third round game against Ted Lindin. So I hope you guys enjoyed this game, and I'll see you guys next time.